you heard the history, you heard the present, what's going on in the pharmacy and the future. And you also heard from a alumni. I'm sure all of you, as the P1 students, thinking, why do we care all these things? We just wanted to know what it looked like tomorrow morning 8 o'clock when the base camp is. Then you may be wondering because some other students, seniors or something, told about the school, the courses. And you wanted to know the following Monday, 8 o'clock, have to get up and get there in that big classroom, listen to the biochemistry, the first class. So I thought I wanted somebody can advise you what this is all about, the program. And that is Miss Lee Anselmo. He is a P4 student on the Amarillo campus and the School of Pharmacy P4 Student Council President. She graduated from the University of Texas at Tyler with a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry. She is an active member of the American Pharmacists Association and the American Chemical Society. In 2011-2012 academic year, she was the class of the 2014 secretary, TTUHSC School of Pharmacy Student Council representative, TTUHSC Amarillo Regional Senate Treasurer. In 2012-13 academic year, she was the class of 2014 secretary, SOP Student Council Vice President, and the TTUHSC Amarillo Regional Senate Treasurer. Lee, the advice from the P4 class president.
Okay. Hello, class of 2017. Let me just say, if I can make it up those stairs, y'all will be fine. I am the clumsiest person ever. As Dr. T said, I'm Lee, and I'm the P4 class president. He asked that a P4 come up here and speak to y'all about what it's been like transitioning from a P1 to P4. Although I'm up here by myself, I did ask several of my classmates for their advice, so always feel free to come ask us questions if we're ever on campus. We've all had different experiences through this process, but we all sat through the same classes and did learn the same thing. So, first off, I would like to wish Dean Smith a very happy birthday. He has been tremendous in his support of the students and listening to our concerns, so I'd like to say thank you for everything he has accomplished in the short time since he's been here. As Dr. T said, or may have said, I wasn't really listening, it's nerve-wracking up here with this bright light. I'm from Austin. It's a shock moving here from Austin. The restaurants here close at 9. Half the city shuts down on Sunday. It's weird. It's really weird. But Amarillo is a great place to live for pharmacy school. There's not much going on to be a distraction, but there are things that you can do to get your mind off of school. There's a baseball team, an ice hockey team, which I have season tickets to. I'm really excited. There's Wonderland Amusement Park, which you can think of as like a mini Six Flags, and there's even a water park. There's John Stiff Park, where you can get people together to go play soccer or volleyball or disc golf, and they also have a dog park there. However, the best thing about Amarillo is you can get anywhere in under 20 minutes. If you avoid Coulter around noon and 5 o'clock, and Coulter is the street that the school is on, in case you don't know. Plus, you can get to the airport 30 minutes before your flight, make it through security, and still have like 10 minutes before they even board your plane. It's pretty awesome. So I'm sure you all have worked very hard to get to this point, and you should be proud of what you've accomplished. But now the real work begins. The next 4 years will be tough. They should be tough. This is a graduate program. You will become frustrated and overwhelmed. You may even want to scream and cry and throw things. You will have to essentially sacrifice having a life in order to focus on school. Pharmacy school will be and should be your #1 priority if you want to succeed. However, you'll also meet great people and make lifelong friendships. I don't know that I could have made it through the last 3 years without my friends and the support that we gave each other along the way. I don't mean to say these things to scare you, but instead to help you realize that although it is difficult, world, it is possible. As a bright-eyed P1, which all of you are right now, you should be excited about what the next 4 years will bring. Take this first year to figure out a routine and a way to balance school and life outside of school. It will become important that you learn to separate these two and make time to focus on something other than schoolwork. During P1 year, you're going to think it's really hard. It's probably going to be harder than anything you've done thus far. But in reality, you use this first year to figure out how to be efficient in your schoolwork. You won't just be sitting in class all day. As a P1, you get to go out into the community and interact with people via health fairs and volunteering events. You also learn the core concepts that will help you, you will need to know for the rest of pharmacy school. Everything always comes back to biochemistry. I'm not lying. This first year, your class will set the trend of how the faculty, staff, and other students view your class as a whole. No matter what, remember to be respectful, from the way you dress to the way you speak, and even write your emails. The pharmacy world is growing, but it is still a very tight-knit group. You never know who might one day be your preceptor or even your colleague. At the beginning of P2 year, you're still hopeful, even though you've probably heard from the upperclassmen how horrible their P2 year was. I won't lie, P2 year will be rough. You'll feel overwhelmed at all the information thrown at you. You'll feel like you aren't learning anything. You just don't realize until later that you actually do retain most of that information, which is good because you're learning about all these rare diseases and their medications that you never think you'll see in the real world. But you do, because the people you see in the real world are very, very sick. During P2 year, for me personally, my life outside of school became so stressful that it took a toll on my schoolwork. This is why it's important to try to separate life and school. At the end of P2 year, you'll be exhausted, but so ecstatic that you survived. At this point, most of you will move on to Dallas or Lubbock for the next 2 years. It was sad to see some of my good friends go, but it was exciting to know we had made it through being a P2 and we're halfway to being a pharmacist. P3 year is totally different than the first 2 years. You start rotations and have electives in addition to your normal classes. Be sure to ask your upperclassmen for advice on which rotations and electives they feel were most helpful. You'll find you have more free time during P3 year, but you should use this time to focus on figuring out what you want to do after graduation. Now is the time that if you think you might want to do residency, start working on your CV and going to national meetings. If you wish to become more involved in an organization, P3 year gives you the opportunity to do that, but you still need to focus on your classes and study hard. And then you become a P4. My fellow P4s and I may only be through 2 of our 8 rotations, but I cannot express to you how great it feels to be at this point. All that hard work is totally worth it once you become a P4. I still sometimes feel like I don't know anything, but I know that's not true. I've only been a P4 for 12 weeks, but I've already impressed myself on several occasions with what I've been able to recall from the past 3 years. Plus, Grand Rounds really isn't that as bad as you think it is. I can't speak for those of you who are in the MBA program as well, but several of my friends did dual program, and I got to hear all about it. Their advice was just be prepared to write a lot of essays. Overall, pharmacy school has been a great experience. I could not have made it through without my friends, Summer Balser and Lisa Bentley in Student Services, and of course, Dr. T and Tony Johnson. As long as you never give up, you will make it. If there was one ultimate bit of advice I could give you, it would be this. Set aside a little bit of free time every day to do something fun. Watch a movie, get a pedicure. Guys, you can get a pedicure. Go bowling. There's glow-in-the-dark putt-putt in the mall. Try reading a book that is not pharmacy related. Give your mind a chance to rest. You can get burnt out pretty quickly if you don't take a break every once in a while. Good luck, class of 2017. I know you'll do great.